I'm Elara, and at 90 years old, I've learned that the greatest secrets to a fulfilling life aren't found in books, but right here. This garden, my life's work, has taught me everything. Every plant in this garden, from the smallest seedling pushing through the soil to the mighty oak reaching for the sky, holds a lesson. You see, the journey from seed to bloom, through the biting frost and the gentle sun, with all its struggles and triumphs, it's not so different from our own lives. A tender shoot might face a storm, but it bends, not breaks, eventually offering its sweet fruit. The garden, it mirrors our own path, full of challenges and rich rewards, if only we take the time to truly observe. Take this apple tree, for instance. It doesn't rush its fruit. It takes its sweet time, nurturing each apple until it's perfectly ripe. I've learned that life works much the same way. In my younger days, I tried to hurry everything along, just like a gardener might try to force a blossom. But nature taught me patience, the deep quiet, knowing that some things just need their own time to grow. Trusting that rhythm, whether for a harvest or a life decision, has brought me more peace than any hurried action ever could. The best things, you see, are always worth the wait. I find myself in my kitchen most mornings, surrounded by the bounty my garden offers. These vibrant vegetables, still clinging to the earth's freshness, remind me of a simple truth. What you put into the soil determines what grows, and what you put into your body determines what you become. When I prepare a simple meal, like this stew from my own carrots and potatoes, I think of it as I think of amending my soil. Careful choices, nourishing elements. My diet, you see, consists not only of the food I eat, but also the information I take in. Just as rich soil yields strong plants, good food and good thoughts yield strength and clarity in life. Your body is a piece of hardware, upgraded through mindful eating. After the kitchen, I often wander to my secluded corner, under the old oak tree. Here, I sit. No phone, no book, just the quiet hum of the garden. Learning how to be bored without distraction, I have found, is a superpower in modern society. The plants don't rush. They simply grow in their own time, drawing strength from the stillness. Our minds need that same quiet. Spend quality time away from your phone daily. When you cut off the constant noise, your thoughts become clearer, your worries soften. This quiet time, it's like good rain for the soul, nourishing growth unseen. Without these moments, you become a shallower version of yourself. Every gardener knows about weeds. They creep in, stealing nutrients, choking out the good plants. Here, let me show you. I lean down, carefully pulling a persistent bindweed from around a tomato plant. See how quickly they can take hold? Worrying is much the same. It's wasted energy. It will never make a problem better. Self-pity and arguing for your excuses are signs of learned helplessness, like a plant that lets the weeds overtake it. We must be ruthless about pruning these weeds from our lives. Cut off all energy and happiness vampires from your life, whether they be people or persistent worries. Protect your inner garden. Look at this apple tree. Its trunk is gnarled, and some of its branches twist in peculiar ways, but it still bears the sweetest fruit. Life isn't always about perfect symmetry. Sometimes, the most beautiful growth comes from overcoming a challenge. Feeling uncomfortable means you're growing. Embrace it. The things you want are often on the other side of facing your fears, just as a young sapling must push through hard earth to find the sun. A good life is never a comfortable life, not entirely. It's in the bending, not breaking, that we find our true strength. I find myself often standing here, by these peas climbing their trellis, next to the corn that offers them shade. It's what we call companion planting, you see. Some plants just grow better together, supporting each other, sharing nutrients, even warding off pests. They lean on one another, thrive because of one another. And it's much the same with people, isn't it? The most important decision you'll ever make, outside of tending your own spirit, is choosing who you share your life with. A good partner, true friends, they're like these companion plants. They nourish your spirit, hold you steady when the winds blow, and help you reach for the sun. Be ruthless about who you let into your garden, because some people will drain your soil dry. Seek out those who help you grow, who lift you up, and cherish them. Their roots will intertwine with yours, making both stronger. When the harvest comes, the baskets overflow. These plump tomatoes, these crisp beans, they're more than just food for my table. They're a reason to knock on a neighbor's door, to share a moment, a story, a laugh. I always say the greatest joy isn't just in growing the food, but in sharing it. The fulfillment of contributing to a community, of seeing the smiles on faces when you offer them something you've nurtured with your own hands, that's a harvest for the soul. It reminds me that a life well lived isn't just about what you gather for yourself, but what you give away. Much like the earth gives freely, so should we, for true abundance multiplies when it's shared. It strengthens the bonds, weaving us all into a richer tapestry. Over by the compost heap, you can see life's quiet wisdom at work. Old leaves, spent stalks, fruit that's seen its season. They don't truly disappear. They return to the earth, break down, and become the rich, dark soil that nourishes the next generation of plants. It's a beautiful cycle, this dance of growth and decay and renewal. It teaches me about my own timeline, about the importance of living each day authentically, knowing that everything has its season. What legacy do we leave behind? Not just what we build, but how we live, how we love, how we prepare the soil for those who come after us. My garden has taught me that true continuity isn't about holding on to what's past, but in allowing it to transform into the promise of what's next. Sometimes I have a young helper, maybe a grandchild or a neighbor's boy. Today, it's young Thomas. He's learning how to plant these small herb seedlings, how to give them just the right amount of space and depth. I watch his eager hands, guiding them gently. I remember my own grandmother teaching me, passing down the secrets of the soil that had been whispered through generations. Hiring mentors or coaches, as some folks do, is simply finding someone who has walked the path before you, someone who can show you how to plant your own seeds faster and with more certainty. And in turn for me, teaching Thomas, seeing the spark of understanding in his eyes, enriches my own spirit. Giving back to the soil of human knowledge, helping others grow, that's a harvest for the teacher too. The rain just passed, a gentle spring shower. See how the leaves are still glistening, how some of the taller flowers are bending, shaking off the drops. They don't fight the wind or the rain, they bend. And then when the storm passes, they stand tall again, refreshed and stronger for having weathered it. Life will bring its own storms, its own rough winds. You'll face fears, you'll encounter hardships. But remember the bamboo that bends, stronger than the oak that resists. The things you want, the peace you seek, are often on the other side of facing those fears. A good life is never a comfortable life, not really. It's a life where you learn to bend, to sway, to shake off the water, and to rise again, knowing that each storm makes your roots deeper. I've learned that not every seed takes root in the perfectly prepared bed. Sometimes, the strongest little sprout finds its footing in a crack in the pavement, or decides to climb a weathered stone wall, reaching for the sun in its own way. Look at this tenacious little vine here, stretching towards the light, refusing to be confined to what I thought was its proper place. It reminds me that your path doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Don't let the noise of the world, or the expectations of others, tell you where you should grow. Your worth isn't diminished by someone else's inability to see your unique beauty. Tend your own plot, find your own sunlight, and flourish in the way that feels true to your spirit. Even after 90 years, I still find myself learning new things in this garden. Just last spring, I tried a new way of rotating my crops, something I read in an old book. My brain, you see, is like a piece of software, always ready for an upgrade. Don't ever think you're too old to learn, to try a new skill, or to understand the world a little better. Whether it's a gardening technique, a new language, or just a different way of looking at an old problem, keep cultivating your mind. The joy of acquiring new knowledge keeps the spirit young and the future bright. A garden, much like a mind, thrives on continuous cultivation. As the sun sets, casting long shadows across my rows of plants, I often sit here in quiet reflection. The peace this garden brings me isn't just from the fresh air or the beauty, but from within. It's the peace of knowing I've tended to my inner garden too. Be careful how you talk to yourself, because you are always listening. Your own self-worth is the most precious harvest you can cultivate. Respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that no longer serves your growth or your happiness. The most beautiful garden you'll ever tend is the one inside you, filled with self-respect and quiet contentment. My garden has taught me that life is a continuous cycle of sowing, tending, and harvesting. Your journey to a fulfilling life starts not tomorrow, but today, with the choices you make for your own well-being. So I invite you, step outside, metaphorically or literally, and begin cultivating your own vibrant life. Share your own wisdom, your own triumphs, and your own beautiful blooms. Let us grow together. Thank you for walking through my garden with me.